So I recently had a conversation with one of my clients, and he was very giddy about the fact that he learned this method to create your LinkedIn article from your YouTube video. He he charges tens of thousands of dollars to work with him, and he learned the method from his coach, who uh, is charges $100,000 a year or something like that. So it it dawned on me. I had been using this method since January, and part of the method for years in my marketing, in my just generating content. I was already using this strategy, but then I realized I was doing him a disservice because I never told him about it. And if $100,000 coach is sharing this kind of knowledge, then it's obviously valuable. So, in that vein, I would like to peel back the curtain and show you how I do some of my content generation. Um, but I guess it wasn't because I was trying to be stingy. I didn't realize how valuable it was until I had that conversation with my client. so, so let me share with you something that I've been using for quite some time. I just want to make emphasis here that I'm not stealing his proprietary information or whatever. This is something that I've been using personally. I just had this revelation that I should be sharing this knowledge. So, in that vein, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I am going to go into one of my videos. And underneath the video, they changed it recently. It used to be over here on the right-hand side, and now it's underneath. Until you go to the bottom of your video, you click on that gray box that says show more, show transcript. So you can click on that. Now that populates over here on the right. And then you can click the three dots. And then you can toggle timestamps. This is important. Toggle timestamps. So before I did that, it showed the timestamp for every phrase that was said. But if you toggle timestamps, it's just the text by itself. So when it's just the text by itself, you can see like the little gray scrolly bar on the side here. So you want to make sure you're all the way at the top, and then grab the text and kind of scroll down with selecting the text all the way until you get to the bottom. Wow, this is a long video. I might need to show you something with a shorter video, because once you get up to about an hour, this method becomes a little bit more complicated, because the other part of this is ChatGPT. So between YouTube and ChatGPT, this is how you create this. I'll just go ahead and try to do this with a shorter video. I'm going to go to see if we can find a good. Okay, this ought to be good. Yeah, I don't have anything here yet, so this is perfect. Okay, so I'm going to copy my video link from over here.
Are you sitting on a gold mine?
Okay, so this was one I I created in Descript, so that's why you have the subtitles up there. Okay, this one should be good. So what I'm going to do is, again, go to the little gray box underneath your video. Click on that, open up the transcript. go up here, toggle timestamps so you don't get all those numbers. Select your text and then scroll down while it's being auto-selected all the way to the bottom. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to go over into a Google Doc. Go to the little grid at the top of your Google browser window. Click on Docs. Click on Blank Doc. And just paste all that in. So there you have that. Okay. Now you can go in and clean it up. You don't need that. That was just something that we accidentally selected. Make sure there's nothing else like that in there. Okay. So that's good. Okay, so now select all, copy again. This time we're going to go into ChatGPT. I think since this is only a 13-minute long video, all the text that I just grabbed can be processed at the same time, hopefully. So now I'm in a ChatGPT, and just to tell you, you can even do this with the free account on ChatGPT. This is a 3.5 version, so even with that, this should still work. ChatGPT 4, you're going to get even better results. But it's pretty straightforward. You just go in here and give it the prompt, proofread and edit the following video transcript to be grammatically correct. If I hadn't already cleaned it up in Descript, you could also say, if it's just a raw recording from your Zoom, say, you can also say, remove filler words and redundant words. For instance, if you say those would all be deleted automatically. Okay, so that's our prompt. And then a colon right there. So proofread and edit the following video transcript to be grammatically correct. Remove filler words and redundant words. And then I just go ahead and Control V or Command V, depending on what computer you're on. And there is the entire video transcript. And then you click Submit. And now it's going to automatically add in all of the grammar, the paragraph structure even, because you might have noticed with this original transcript, it's just phrases. It's not complete sentences. There's no grammar. It's just kind of one big run-on sentence. So now when we go in and do this, it's breaking things down into actual paragraphs here, which I love. It's not just one big wall of text anymore. So now you just copy that. And I'm going to go ahead and go back over to my original video. And from here, I can just go edit, or I can go back into my studio here, either way, and paste that in there. And now you have the entire video. The entire video now has a transcript in the description that goes along with it. So that's one way to use this. Okay. So the next thing you can do is you can go into ChatGPT again, and then you can say, please write a LinkedIn. This time I'm going to say newsletter, but you can say LinkedIn newsletter, LinkedIn article, blog article, social media post. You can say any of these things, right? Please write a LinkedIn newsletter from this transcript. Submit. Let's see what happens. Okay. It's going to process it for a minute. So now what it's doing is it's taking that simple structured paragraph format to more of a outline. It has subheadings. It has bullet points. It's kind of extrapolating its own information. It's rewording things. So now when we go in and copy that, this is a slightly different version. I'm going to go ahead and go into my docs once again. So that was the original one, right? Let's do this. I'm going to go in. I'm just going to go ahead and paste this. Okay. So now you have the rough before version and then the Chat GPT version. I wouldn't say this is the final version just yet because there's a couple of things that that you still have to do to this. Okay. So now you have something that you can post as a newsletter on LinkedIn from this, right? Some of the formatting from this can be carried over to your social media post if it is inside of a group. In fact, you can have a title on your post in the group. You can have bold, you can have italics. For some reason, the formatting carries over inside your group post, but not in your public feed post. I'm not sure why they make it different, but for whatever reason, that's the way they have it, at least as of the time of this recording. So another thing that I like to use is yaytext.com. And this gives you the ability to infuse a certain font style into your text that when you post it on social media, it keeps the formatting so it looks the same as it does here on the screen. Let's just select the title. Although I don't like that title, I'm probably going to go in and change that title. I'm going to go to YayText, paste it in here, and now you can do any one of these fancy formatting. You can even do these really weird letters down here that it's kind of hard to read. It's kind of gimmicky. It's kind of hard to read. I like to go with fonts that you can read so there's no ambiguity, no confusion. So now I can go back in and paste that in, and now that is the formatted text. No matter, well, I'm not going to say no matter where you paste it, because if you tried to make a Zoom registration page that had a description, if you copy this and put it over there, it doesn't carry over, I've noticed. It just turns into a bunch of little dashes instead. So you have to make sure that when you copy and paste the text over to whatever platform you're pasting it on, that it actually is keeping the right format and that it looks correct. Otherwise, you'll have to go back in and change it again to just regular text if it's not showing up in there. So now you can have this be your LinkedIn article or your newsletter. I'm just going to go ahead and finish these off. Okay. Okay, so now all of my subtitles. Okay, I don't need this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just going to get rid of these extra lines as well. This is the prompt. This is the thing from the prompt itself. So you don't want that in your article, right? Okay. And okay. That looks pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all of this. Right. And now I'm going to go over to LinkedIn. And here's another little hidden thing. They made it hidden. They made it hidden. I like that one because I love supporting him. Okay, so now they changed this recently so that it's harder to find your newsletters. But what you can do is you scroll down, you see at the very bottom on the left-hand column, Discover More. And then under the left-hand column again, it says Manage My Network. Click on the down arrow. That's the only way I've found to conveniently find your newsletters. And then you click on your own newsletter. And now you can go in and create a new edition. And now you can paste that in. Let's see if it kept, see, Okay, great. So it actually did keep the formatting here on the newsletter. So just by comparison, if I were to write a regular post instead of a newsletter, let's see if it would carry it over. Boom. Okay, in this instance, you will note that the subtitles didn't, the formatting on the subtitles did not carry over this time, but the formatting that I created with the yay text, that formatting did stay, okay? Just to show you an example of what I'm talking about here. Let's say schedule a meeting. Test meeting. And let's go add a description and paste that in there. Let's see if any of that carried over. Okay, so here you can see it looks like it carried over. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this. And now you will notice that once you've submitted the text, it's not showing up correctly anymore. This looks like a bunch of gibberish. So yeah, that's not going to work inside of the format, inside of the Zoom description, okay? So that's why you always want to make sure you test it to make sure it looks right even after you post it. I'm going to say discard this draft. Don't need that. And with this, it automatically saves the draft versions as you go. I don't like this title, so what I'm going to go do is go back into ChatGPT, and I'm going to put in write 10 different headlines to replace this. And I always like asking for 5 or 10 or 20, just so you have a really good sampling to work from, and then just pick out the one that sounds the best to you. Okay. So here's some of them. Discover the treasure within, make the most of your existing resources. Harness your hidden potential, unlock value in what you already have. Tap into your untapped assets. That sounds a little bit redundant. From dust to gold, revitalizing your past creations to present success. Hidden wealth, how to utilize your current assets for greater gains. Maximize what you've got. Transform past efforts into present profits. Unearth your business gold mine. Hey, I like that one. Leveraging what you already have. I like that one, actually. That one's pretty cool. So maybe we'll change it to that. And because this is a LinkedIn article, you don't necessarily need the yay text for this particular one. So I'm just going to make this a regular title. It's already formatted as a title. So then I've already got the article ready to go. I just need an image. And there's a couple things you can do here. You can go back to your video and you can grab this little guy here. But if you go right click, save image as, or open image in new tab, you will notice that the resolution on this is pretty small. So what I like to do is I like to copy this link, go to my, you can either do this in Facebook or LinkedIn. I've actually, let's go ahead and do it on LinkedIn this time because why not? Now I'm going to try save image as. Save it to your computer. You can also go right click, open image in new tab. And that's still pretty small. That's still pretty small. Let's see if we can get even better. Facebook, same thing. So I'm going to go create post, paste in the YouTube video. It automatically populates it with an image. I'm going to change this to only me. Done. Post. And right click, open a new tab. Let's see if this one's better. No, it's pretty small. You know what? This might actually have to do with the resolution of the original image. We might not be able to get bigger than this. I think this is pretty much maxed out, so you can right click, save image as. We can play with these to see which one's more detailed. So you can use the thumbnail image that YouTube generated for your video in this manner. But if this isn't good enough for you, because maybe you don't want something like this on the top of your newsletter, you want something a little bit more polished, a little bit more refined, you can go into Canva. When it comes to LinkedIn, that Canva doesn't really have adequate templates sizes, in my opinion. There it is, 1920 by 1080. Okay. Sometimes you have to reverse engineer things. So 1920 by 1080. Create new design. And now what you can do is you can upload that graphic. Size 28. Oh, this one is slightly bigger. Okay, interesting. You want to try to max out the resolution on your thumbnails. Let me rephrase that. For it to be used as a thumbnail, it only needs to be this big. What I'm saying is, if you're trying to create a thumbnail, you want to make sure, or if you're trying to create any graphic for that matter, you want to make sure that the resolution of the image you're using is as high as possible, so that you have the quality and the detail there when you need it. So now that I have this graphic up here, I'm probably going to just edit image and then BG remover for background. It's going to automatically find me and cut out the background. So there we go. That quickly, boom. And now we can put some cute little background here, like let's put goldmine in elements, search goldmine, see what the stock photos come up with. I think I want a photo as opposed to a graphic. Or maybe we can say, maybe instead of gold mine, say gold, let's see, pile of gold. Let's see what happens. So I'm not really seeing the pile of gold that I wanted to see in the background. So let's try graphics. Getting a little bit closer with some of these. Also, if you don't like the graphics that are coming up here, you can create your own AI, your AI generated graphic from a text description. Now, there are a lot of different options out there for you at this time. I just like to use Bing because it's quick, it's free, and the output is pretty decent. So I'm going to go in and say, let's just put pile of gold. Let's put a giant pile of gold and see what happens. Oops. There we go. It'll take it a few seconds to generate. Typically, it generates 4 different versions, and I've also noticed that one is typically better than the rest of them. Ooh, I love the fact that they added a dragon. I'm not sure why, but that's really cool. That is really cool. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Oh, these are all good. Ooh, wow. So good. It's kind of cool that they kept with the same theme on all 4 of these versions. That's interesting. So now what you can try to do is take this. Go back to your graphic. And you can just start uploading these images and play around with them until you find something that you like. So I'm going to try this one. Oops, actually, do this. There we go. If you just kind of nudge the corner of it with the image into the box, sometimes it'll automatically expand it to the shape of the box. Okay. So the problem with this, go into position. There we go. Problem with this is you're not seeing enough of that gold. So, I could try to play with these other ones to see if they work better. There, that's kind of looking better. I like the dragon at the top though, so let's see if we can keep that. And move, oops, no, not the dragon. I'm gonna move me over. There. Ooh, see, now it's coming together here. So I was going to say that if you needed to expand the width of the graphic, like the first one that we tried, you can always take it into Photoshop, expand the edges of the image, and have it auto-generate, fill in the space, but it's auto-generating it. So it's kind of cool, kind of a neat process. I'm probably not going to go over that now because I'm already going over a lot here. Maybe I'll do that in another video. And if I do, I'll add it to the description of this video here. So now I have that. That's looking really cool. I love that. And what I'll probably do is next, I'm going to go ahead and grab that title that I liked. Discover the treasure within. I kind of like that one too. Unearth your business gold mine. Leveraging what you already have. Okay, maybe I'll try this one. When you play with ChatGPT for a while, you'll notice that it starts repeating the same phrases and words all the time, like unleash, unlock, unlock your full potential in blah, blah, blah. So once you start playing around with it for a while, you start recognizing these. And then when you see those titles elsewhere, you know where they got it. So that's why I like to go back in and try to challenge ChatGPT to give me different types of words so that it creates something that's not, run-of-the-mill, unlock your potential cliche. Okay, so I'm going to try that one. I'm going to go back into this one again. Excuse me. And then click on text. Paste that in. Now you can play around the text, make sure you can see it, make sure it's legible. I'm going to make it white. I'm going to maybe change the font, something more drastic, maybe not that drastic, but you can just kind of play around with it. Ooh, I like that. Okay, let's try this. Okay, it's still kind of hard to read it. I like how that's framing that though. I like that. So what I might end up doing is we can try playing with the different colors. Try to come up with a color that's easy to read. No, you don't want to use the colors from the photo. Okay. I feel like that one was a lot more legible. You can make adjust the line height, squeeze that in there a little bit better. You can also play around with other things, like you can make this more transparent, or you can do effects on your text, like an outline, a lift. You can increase the lift. You can make it a shadow. You can make the shadow a different color. Make it neon. Okay, there we go. Now it's looking like it's kind of standing out from the background a little bit more. Sometimes you got to just sit there for a minute and play with it and make sure that it's as legible as you can possibly get it. Because the problem with a lot of fonts that brands elect to use in their branding kit, they're illegible fonts. You know, they're kind of scripty, they're handwritten, they're loopy letters, maybe the capitals are really big and the lowercase letters are really small, so you're challenged with all sorts of things. Make sure it's legible first and foremost. So there's that. That's okay. I kind of want to make it even more drastic. So maybe what I can do is I can go in here and ask for a gradient. We can try different gradient colors to see if that will make it easier to read. We can try a white gradient. So does that make it easier? No. We can make it a black gradient and rotate this. It's coming in from the left-hand side. Expand it out. Kind of works, but I need it to be wider. So let's just do this. Sometimes when you grab the gradients from the elements in Canva, you can actually expand them from any side independently, and sometimes they're actually a fixed ratio. So it's good to try to find a nice versatile gradient. So now you can definitely read the words a little bit better. This might be a little bit too severe because it's covering up the pile of gold so much. Reduce the opacity. We're getting close. We're getting close. Can I even make this more of like an angle so you see more of the gold, the pile of gold. Just make sure it extends beyond the edges of the thing so it doesn't just have a weird cutoff. And okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now it's a little bit more clear. Okay. Discover the treasures within. Make the most of your existing resources. And now that I'm looking at it, I think this title is too long, so I'm going to make a second version. And if you're ever not sure which way you want to go with something, just always make a second version, so you can always come back to the original idea, or you can kind of play with the new version a little bit more. Because if it's just this, I can make it a lot bigger. Yes. I'm going in and clearing out the spaces at the ends of the sentences because sometimes that messes with the alignment. Discover the treasure within. We'll just make it nice, short title. Make this bigger. And then of course you can just go around and go, tweak it, play around with it for a while to make sure it's the way you want it to look. And then you can go in and add your brand if you already have if you have your brand elements in here. So here's my logo. I'm going to go ahead and remove the background on this as well. So it's just the letters. I'm going to put this down here. Okay. I like to blend in the branding and the logos in with the graphics so it doesn't stand out unless you're looking for it. So just one more try with the white. There we go. Discover. Oh, we got rid of our R somehow. Discover the treasure within. Okay, so there we go. That's our graphic. You can even play around with this. You can go edit. You can scroll down and do a drop shadow if you wanted to. Sometimes that messes with the ratio and the size and everything. So you have to readjust it. Maybe adjust the drop shadow so it is at a different angle. And maybe give it some more distance, maybe blur it a little bit more. Intensity, lower the intensity. There we go. Yeah, sometimes these settings just change the size of your image. So you just have to go in and readjust it again. Okay, so cool. That's looking pretty neat, pretty cool. I want to maybe make my image pop a little bit more. So I'm going to go into adjust. You can increase the contrast, increase the brightness, increase the saturation. Okay, so there's that. So that's one way to go, right? Now, it gets even more fun. I'm not done yet. What if we took this image? The one there we go. Go to newprofilepic.com. Some of these are a little bit far-fetched, but sometimes you can get it pretty good. And just go in, play around with these, see what you can come up with. This is always changing, so you can always come back in and revisit it later with a different photo, and it'll produce slightly different results. Okay, this is kind of getting closer. Wow, that's really close. I like that one. Let's try that one. Download. So now I'm going to go back over here. And this time, since I got this pretty close, but then we were like, well, maybe we should adjust this photo here. So I'm going to make another version. So now we have 3 different versions, right? So this is kind of evolving. Okay. So now we go upload the graphic that we just now downloaded. There it is. So I'll try it with that, and then I'll also do another version, and I'll try it with the more animated looking one. Okay, so let's try it. In theory, if I plug this in over here, oh wow, that's interesting. I kind of like that it filled up the space. I wasn't even intending on doing that, but that actually looks pretty cool. So this time I'm maybe gonna shrink it down a little bit. Okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's doing some weird stuff over here, so I'm gonna maybe delete that out. Okay, so there's that version, the even closer face, right? Ah, what's it doing now? Okay, so we have those two versions. So now we can try this one. We can try her. And again, it's making it very, very big. Make sure and give have the whole face there. And as you can see, you might have noticed, this is automatically doing the same treatments on this photo that we did on the other photo. Did you notice that? It automatically removed the background and it added the drop shadow. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this face, I think. So she's looking into the photo instead of looking away from the photo. I actually kind of like that. That's pretty cool. And this is a pretty realistic picture. I love it. I love it. Let's see if we can get rid of discover the treasure within. It's kind of cutting in a little bit. Let's try moving that there. Okay. Okay. This is starting to come together. Okay, so now we have several versions. So you can take a look at the evolution here, right? Any one of these would probably be good enough to go. I kind of like how this came together, so I'm going to go ahead with this one. Share, download. And I don't want to get all of them. I only want the current page. Download. Okay. So now we can go over to LinkedIn. I don't want that. I want my... Okay, so now we are back on the newsletter. Oh, here it is. Duh, 1920 by 1080. There it was. So in this instance, it gave you the actual pixels that you can go in and create your own design. Now, if this wasn't here and you didn't know these details, what you can also do is you can take a screenshot and here and you go print screen or snipping tool or whatever you have, screen capture, whatever you have, and then take the little pointer and select just that gray box. Okay, you're just selecting that gray box. Okay, create design. I'm going to go import file. For whatever reason, it's not showing me the cropped image that I just created, but just for the sake of demonstration, I'm gonna bring in a one that I've already got a screenshot, a screen grab of. Use in a new design, custom size, and it'll automatically create the size of your document based on the size of that cropped image. The 1280 by 720 is the size of this actual image. So that's one of the ways you can create your own template from like your background on LinkedIn, your event cover image, your background on Facebook, your profile image, whatever you want. You can just grab the screenshot of the placeholder for it and turn that into your template on Canva. So you can always do that no matter what size. If you don't know what the size is, you don't know what the dimensions are, you don't know how many pixels something needs to be, you can always just go in and do that. Okay, so that's just a quick fix for that. And let's see if there's anything else we need to do with this. So we have our article, upload from computer, add that. And boom, discover the treasure within. Oh. Okay, so now I need to go back in and change that title to the other one. Okay, copy. Boom. Paste. Oh, there we go. Okay. Discover the treasure within, making the most of your existing resources. So then it's already creating all of these different bullet points, subtopics, yada, yada. And then we can also add the actual video, right? So what I like to do is after the first few paragraphs, go in here. Now you go back to your video again. Copy this. Go embed. Paste in the YouTube video. Watch the video here. And apply. So you can make it so you can click on the link there. Okay. Or embed. Apply. And now you can have this here. Okay. But I don't like that this is this graphic instead of this one. So I can match this graphic to this by going back over to my video. And this time I'm going to upload that same graphic. Save. And now let's see if it automatically updates it in here. Let's see. Might have to redo it again. So embed, paste the YouTube video, apply, and there it is. Okay, so now we have the article. It's already formatted. You can have the link to the video. And then you can even have like a call to action down here if you want to say, would you like to discover your hidden gold mine? Let's talk. Okay, so now I can go to my calendar, and I have my calendar. Instead of doing Calendly, I've started doing Google Calendar, and I added my personal Zoom, my personal Zoom meeting link here, so that whenever somebody books a call, it's already there, so they know where to go when it times come for the meeting, right? Okay, so that's in there, and I've called it a book your marketing strategy session. Since I have the free version, I don't have the ability to create different types of meetings. You could do that if you wanted to do the paid version, and you can do discover your gold mine strategy session, right? So I can create a new event if I wanted to, but I'm just going to use my regular one. Go back over to LinkedIn. I'm going to go select that text. I'm going to add a link to it. Apply. So now if somebody clicks on this, they're going to automatically go to my booking page, which looks like this. And one of the things I like about this is if you go into your calendar and you section off a certain day so that nobody can book, then when they go in here, those will no longer be available. It'll automatically repopulate this with only the available spots. Okay. And you can make these half an hour, 15 minutes, an hour, whatever you want. Okay. So there's that. And I'm going to go ahead. Let's see, maybe make the call to action there and then have the final closing. Thank you for reading. Have a great day. Okay, cool. So then we have our call to action at the end. We have clicking on additional resources inside of the article, and the article by itself is pretty yeah, it in my opinion, this is done. So I'm going to go ahead and just post this because why not, right? So now we have so when you do this, it'll try to get you to write another social media post that gets people to click on the link to go to your newsletter. So you can say, in fact, what I can also do, just to change the wording a little bit, is, what was the other one I liked here? Unearth. Okay, so this time I'm going to slightly change it up a little bit, just so it has a few more keywords. It's still it's grabbing a few more keywords there. Find out more here. Or we could make it a little bit more engaging, like we could say, ask GPT, write 5 engaging questions to get LinkedIn members to click on your newsletter. Okay, let's see what happens. Are you sitting on untapped resources that could boost your income today? Do you have valuable content collecting dust that could be repurposed for success? Okay, that's the one right there. I love that. See, this is why I love ChatGPT, even though I wish they could call it something different. So now I'm going to go back over here. Okay, this is BS. I'm going to just take everywhere. Let's see. Yeah. Boom. Do you have valuable content collecting dust? And then I'm going to go Earth your business goldmine, and then you can just do a couple of hashtags here, like content, you know, topics related to this article, business success, success, marketing strategy. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and publish, and boom, there we go. You can get the link to this article, which is always good. So we have that. And this has gone out to 271 subscribers. So here's the other cool thing about newsletters. This is why I love newsletters so much. It's because you can basically get into people's inboxes without being an email subscriber, because every time you post a LinkedIn newsletter specifically, the people that are subscribed to your newsletter will automatically get an email notification that this has been posted. So super cool hack to get into inboxes. I'll probably create a whole video on that, like different ways you can get into people's inboxes without having them as an email subscriber. And then I'll probably do maybe another video on just expanding your graphic inside of Photoshop, because that's really fun. But this turned out really cool. I like the way it looks. I like the way it turned out. Hopefully you do too, and hopefully you got something out of this. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.